Alright, first, just gonna get the obvious out of the way. Yes, I'm still alive. Yes, the channel is still alive. It's not dead. No. Even though, yes, there's not been any postings for a while, but don't worry, the channel is not dead. And yes, we will eventually get back to new episodes of everything eventually. Okay? Now, I don't know how long this is going to take me to go through everything I need to say. But let's just say there's so much I actually had to write everything down. I literally have like a list here of stuff I got to go over to explain why there's not been any videos lately, and as to briefly explain why it's still going to be just a little bit longer. But yeah, I'm going to have to like explain in detail certain things, but also not so much on others, just to make it so that this video is not literally 2 hours long, since it's supposed to be just a simple update video. And yeah. Okay, so, right off the bat, the reason why there's not been any videos for over a month and some days, was due to computer problems. The old computer... Well, actually, let me back up a second here. So, months ago, I don't know exactly when, I didn't, like, take note of what date this actually happened, because I don't remember now. A couple months ago, the lid on my laptop, you know how you open and close the laptop, the lid that goes up and down, it broke. Okay, and I can still use a computer, but let's just say it was very difficult. Okay, and of course I had to live with that for, well, a couple months. Due to that, well, mainly due to that little issue there, plus some other things, the computer eventually got worse and worse and worse, in terms of just everything, hardware, everything, to where literally the last point I was recording, which actually the last episode I was recording, was for an upcoming game series that will be on the channel, I'm assuming this year, which is a game called Orcs Must Die 3, which is a co-op series that me and Ross have been recording on the side. Well, of course, now it's been who knows how long since since that. We haven't been able to continue that for a while. But anyways, we were recording that, and my computer went black screen. And just, it was at that point, it's like, oh my god, I need a new computer. So, yeah, anyways, so the last time I recorded was actually around the beginning of June. Okay, so, yeah, it's been since, like, the beginning of June since, well, to now, is technically, or later, that, yeah, there's not been any new videos, because that's, well, that's whenever the computer, the main part happened, you know, basically, okay, I can't record anymore. But anyways, oh god, I wrote all this down, I'm still, tripping up here, oh my god, so, sorry, there's just a lot, there is so much I need to talk about. So anyways, yeah, let me look at my notes here, where are we at here? Yeah, now, I was able to back up the old computer, that was the good news. The bad news is that to transfer everything over from the old computer to the new computer, I had some serious, and I quote, serious problems. The thing is that my old computer was running Windows 10. The new computer is running Windows 11, which I hate Windows 11. At least the behind-the-scenes stuff. Okay, I mean, on the surface it looks okay, but behind the scenes, it's a pain in the rear. This is like the first time ever I've had so much trouble with a computer, because every Windows version, they've gotten worse and worse and worse. They've taken away more of our... How do I explain this? More of our rights... Wait, no, that's not the right terminology. Basically, they've just made things harder. Let's just say it that way, so I can move on to the next part here. So, with Windows 11, some idiot thought it was okay to make it where you can't use file history, which is what I use to back up my Windows 10 computer. you can't use file history to take Windows 10 and put it on Windows 11. The file history on Windows 11 only works with Windows 11, which is the most idiotic thing I've ever seen. Well, no, I've seen worse, but anyways. Skipping that. Anyways, the point is that I couldn't just transfer all my files from the external hard drive to the new computer. Okay? Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna get a lot more into that in a second. Let me back up a second here, because I want to keep in the timeline here. Sorry. Again, there's a lot. Sorry. I'm gonna keep saying sorry a lot. Okay, so like I said, it was beginning of June, I had to stop recording. It wasn't until the middle of June, June 18th, that I was finally able to start basically turning on the new computer, setting it up, going through all the setup process, which literally took hours, surprisingly. I don't know why it took hours, but literally it was sitting here taking hours to do, this process, that process, this process, just before I could even get to the desktop. My gosh, took me all night to work on this thing. And basically, to sum up a good portion of what I want to say, I had to start from scratch on almost everything. Okay, now yes, I am able to access the files and stuff from the external hard drive. However, this is where the new problem comes in at. Whenever it backed up all my files, it split it into two different folders. One called a C folder, and the other one called, okay, it's got like the money symbol, as you see on your computer, or, well, still, money symbol, and then it has OF after that. Okay, so money symbol OF. That's the other folder. Now, between these two folders, the C folder is where it had everything that was kind of intact, but not quite. So, to explain and show, actually, an example of what I mean by kind of intact but not, let's look at... Oh, here, let's real quick. No, that's the wrong one, sorry. Huh. Okay, so this here is an example of kind of intact but not quite. So, as you can see with these pictures here, which actually note, this particular picture you're looking at, this is from a folder of where I store my Disney Dreamlight Valley DreamSnap submissions. Okay, I store like the information on, what the challenge is, the actual picture itself, the picture with the tags listing on it, and the picture of what I got for said submission. So, yeah. So if you watch my Disney Dreamlight Valley series, then you should basically get an idea. Or you should have an idea of what this picture is. But anyways, the point is I'm trying to show here is now you'll see that each picture, of course, has the regular name at the top. So if we look at the top of this picture and look literally top left-hand corner where it says 287 Limitless Landscapes, okay? That was the name of that file. That was, in this case, picture, okay? That was the name of the picture that I gave it back on Windows 10. However, due to this file history thing, it then put a date timestamp on every single picture, file, whatever, you name it, every single thing that I have on my computer, or, well, okay, old computer, now new computer, has this crap that you can see underneath each and every single name, these timestamps. And the only way to get rid of that is to either A, use the file history mode that was supposed to work, which was, basically, as I said, you back up on Windows 10 to the, using the file history mode, and then you were supposed to upload the file history mode from the external to the computer on Windows 11. But like I said, some idiot thought, oh, it'd be a funny joke to make it so you can't upload file history from anything but Windows 11. So yeah, so I'm stuck with this. And the only way to actually fix this is to literally manually go through every single picture, file, folder, you name it, and correct each one. So, like, for example, this folder here, At the time, I did have 287 pictures I had to go through, and literally spend, I think in this particular folder, I think took me about over half an hour to finally fix it to this, what it's supposed to look like. So again, this is what it looked like on Windows 10 normally, but this is what it looked like after the file history screw up. Okay? Just to show you a small example of the massive, massive, massive issue just right there alone. I mean, that's just one issue out of many that has happened / what I will say. And note, everything I'm going to say in this video is not even... doesn't even scratch the surface of everything I've gone through so far. Okay, so anyways, let's go back to the file history thing for a second here. So whenever I said about the two folders, one being C and one being the money sign symbol and then OF, in the C folder, as I said before, it still had, you know, like this stuff here, but it put the timestamps on, whereas in the other folder, as I said, the OF, we'll just say OF, just to make it easy, the OF folder, it separated all of my files into all these random folders here with random numbers, and if you click into the numbers, is it this one? Here we go. If you click into the numbers, then my original file names are all gone, and it's replaced it all by these numbers with the timestamps. So, yeah, I have a massive, massive list, and again, what you see on screen right now, this is just a tiny, and I mean tiny, super, super, super tiny example of a massive, massive long list that it could take years to go through to re-find every single little file, picture, this, that, you name it, and try to figure out, okay, what is this? Where does this go? What's the name of this? Because, yeah, all my file name's gone, all my, just everything. It still has this stuff here, but it's all messed up like this. And, or if it is, okay, of course, now this is documents here, but if it's pictures, it would be like this, but without the, without my part of it. You know, like, without what you see here, but it would just look like this. It would have its own numbers, like this. These random numbers, because actually this here is just a small example from one folder of these random numbers, and just... yeah, so again, this is just one tiny problem. One tiny... and no, well, I mean, it's a big problem, but I mean tiny in terms of the whole list here, okay? So anyways, continuing on. Let's go back to my list here so I can keep with the timeline here. Okay, so, anyways, I've had, like I said, I had to rebuild the computer from scratch. In terms of I had to re-download all my programs, had to reset up all my programs, had to... and actually, that's even with OBS. What I'm using right now to record... OBS, I even had to rebuild this thing from scratch because, for some odd stupid reason, it didn't take my save file. Like, I went into the folder where the save file is, I could physically see it right in front of my face, but for some odd stupid reason, when I tried to do the import option from OBS, it didn't read it. And I still don't even understand why that is. But thankfully, there is a thankfully moment here, believe it or not, regarding OBS. Thankfully, because of the fact that a similar situation happened within this past year, where there was an update to OBS, and it completely wiped out my profile, and even wiped out my save for some reason, which I still don't understand how that happened. Whenever I had to rebuild OBS back then, I went ahead and thought ahead and took screenshots of all of my scenes, all of my settings, all of my everything, so that in case if I couldn't rely on the save file, which of course happened again, but in this time, you know, switching from Windows 10 to Windows 11, which again, I still don't understand why I did that. Because if I wouldn't read the save file, I used the pictures to basically recreate every single one of my scenes, images, scenes in OBS, all my settings in OBS, all my everything. However, there was numerous things, though, that were scattered. Like, say, for example, in a scene, if you know what OBS is, and hopefully you know what I'm talking about here, where like, say, for example, my intro video. Just to use a dumb example here for a second. Which actually, no, that one... Oh, wait, no. Actually, that one... Oh, no, actually, that one was scattered. Yeah, that one... Yeah. Yeah, see, there were certain things that were put in the scattered folder. You know, the OF folder. And then there was other things that wasn't. It just so happens, actually, yeah, the intro was one of them that was scattered. So I had to actually locate that, which took forever. And then bring that over to the Windows 11 computer. You know, from the external hard drive to the computer, and then put that back into the correct folder where it should be. And well, actually, no, I actually had to make the folder, which actually I'll get more into that in a second. But anyways, the point is, I had to then re-put back the stuff that I even use in OBS into the Windows 11 computer, so then I can actually go into OBS and be like, okay, I'm gonna pull my intro video from this phone. I'm gonna do this from this, blah, 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 you know, so all that had to be reset up, okay? Then, there was also other issues, such as sound problems and stuff, but I'll get more into that in a minute. Let me back up for one more second here. Back to the folder, which actually... Wait, where was I going with that? Sorry, hold on, I gotta rethink my thoughts here. I'm actually looking over my list as well, trying to figure out where I'm at in the timeline here. Okay, yeah, so sound we're going to get to in a little bit here, but not yet. Oh, okay. One more... okay, now I remember what it was. One more thing regarding the OF folder. With all the scattered files, you know, this crap here, okay? Now, the reason why... You may be asking why. Why did it scatter half my stuff instead of just, you know, keeping it all in the C folder? Well, what happened was, and this literally doesn't make any sense why they have a design like this. And actually, this is a file history problem, which I didn't know about until afterwards. Like, oh! So anyways, it turns out that the reason why the OF folder was created is for long file extensions? I'm not sure if that's the right word I want. Basically, to put it in simple, basic terms for anyone to understand, basically, say if you go into your computer and you go to your My Documents, alright? Then say if in your My Documents, you then have a folder labeled, I don't know, pictures, okay? Then, you go into that folder, and then you have multiple folders beyond that are labeled maybe, I don't know, I'll use some examples of my channel here. Which actually, well, no. Well, okay, I'll just make some stuff up just to make it understandable. Well, the one I can say is real, which is, you know, Disney Dreamlight Valley folder. So, yeah, that's in there. Okay. But then, say the next folder is maybe Genshin Impact. And then the next folder is, I don't know, what's something we worked on recently? Well, how about I just say Orcs Must Die 3, since that was something I labeled earlier. No, I don't have a folder on that, but still. Yeah. Now, say if in those folders, you go into them, like, say, the Disney Dreamlight Valley folder, and then you have separate more folders in there. So, like, maybe you have, like, okay, Dream Snap, and actually, yeah, this is actually good. I can use Disney Dreamlight Valley here to use an example. So, yeah, in that folder for Disney Dreamlight Valley, or DDV, I'll just say DDV to make it simple. So, yeah, if you hear me say DDV, you know I'm talking about this game. Say in that folder, you maybe have another folder that says Stream Snaps, and you have another folder beside that says maybe Pics from Airnet, or maybe you have another folder Random Pics, or you have another folder... I'm just trying to make some stuff up on this spot, because actually the only thing I really have is just, actually the two things, just Dream Snap and some random stuff. Well, either way, you have those folders, okay? Now you click into them, and you got even more folders, okay? Now I'm going to stop giving examples, okay? But either way, you see how we kept going into a folder, into folder, into folder, into folder. What that is like a long extension, or file extension, or basically it's like whenever you go on your computer and you look at the top, and it will say like C drive, and then local, and then document, or no, user, then documents, then you know, that kind of stuff. Okay, that is, again, what I'm talking about. So, after so many after so many folders, okay, I don't remember the number offhand. I did count it at the time, but I forgot to write it down. I'm not going through it right now. But after so many folders, it just stopped putting the extra folders into the C folder of the file history function program backup on the external hard drive. After that, it took all that extra stuff and just randomly threw it into the OF folder. And I literally have no flipping clue why they did this. It's the dumbest thing in terms of a backup, in terms of backing up files and stuff. And I don't know what kind of idiot thought it was okay to do that, but it's not okay. And now take note, if the file history would have been able to upload to the new computer, then I wouldn't have had to worry about it. Because again, it would have taken all those random files of all those random numbers. Is this one? No, not that one. This one, sorry. It would have taken all these random folders and actually put them back in their proper places, believe it or not. I don't know how it would have done it, but it would have been able to do it. However, again, because of the fact I can't I can't use the file history on Windows 11, now I have to do everything manually. Okay, so again, this is just one thing. All right, now let's move on to the next problem, because this is I got a long list here. So, now note this is not in any particular order, but I'm just going to try to say. Well, I have it written down here, but again, it's not in order in terms of the timeline here, but it's just the numerous problems I've had. So, one problem I had during trying to get everything set up with Windows 11, I had administrator access issues. So, to where it would tell me I'm an administrator. Administrator. Yeah, I think I said it right. But yet I wasn't. For some odd, random reason, which didn't make any sense. Like, in other words, I'd go in there and say, oh, yeah, sure, the administrator. But yet, I wasn't actually the administrator. And I was like, what? Now, if you're wondering, what am I talking about? What I mean by that is literally, say if you want to save something to your computer, or say if you want to edit something to your computer. Or, no, not edit to your computer. What am I saying? Say if you want to edit a file, or save something to your computer, or just do anything in general, okay? If you're not the administrator, you're not going to have the permission to do this or do that and yada yada yada. So, like, say if I was working on a text document, okay, and I wanted to change, and I went in there and changed some information. I tried to hit save, it wouldn't save. It's like, are you kidding me? Why is this not working? And it's like, no, because it's telling me I'm the administrator, yet I'm not. So after tons of troubleshooting, trying to figure out how in the world to fix this, I finally was, long story short, finally able to fix that. So I now am the official administrator of the computer, which I've never had that problem with any past computer I've ever had. And again, note, this has nothing to do with the actual computer I bought. This has to do with Windows 11. Pretty much everything from what I'm going to be saying in this video is mainly Windows 11 issues, except for there was only one problem, just one, with the actual computer itself that I bought, which is sound. But again, we'll get to that later on here. But anyways, so next problem, let's see. Okay, we talked about that, okay, next problem. OneDrive. So, this is another thing that makes literally zero sense whatsoever, which is, if you would click on the little folder on your computer, which normally you would use to get to your documents and other stuff, okay? Or maybe like on the side, I would say music, videos, documents, pictures, that kind of stuff. And you'd be seeing all that. Well, anyways, here's the weird thing. All this stuff on the side, including the documents, was all plugged right into OneDrive. I didn't know this, okay? So whenever I started trying to manually copy over my files from the external hard drive, from the My Documents of my external hard drive over to the new computer, Windows 11, eventually it said file, space full, and I'm like, excuse me, what? What do you mean space full? This is a 2 terabyte hard drive computer. There's no way this is space full when my old computer was only a 500 gig hard drive. So like, what the heck is going on here? And I looked into it, I'm like, what is OneDrive? Get this OneDrive out of, you know. So anyways, OneDrive became a problem. So I had to completely get rid of all this stuff on the side, you know, where it says music, videos, pictures, documents. I had to get rid of all that out of the out of the quick select, okay? And then when I tried to re-put back in the document, the actual document stuff, for some odd reason, I had way more trouble with that than I should have. To where the only way to fix this is I actually had to go manually into the C drive itself of the computer and find the actual documents, the actual videos, the actual music, and then pull them straight from the C drive itself and put it in this this quick select on the side so that I can easily access my documents and videos and all that stuff, or pictures, offline, so to speak, you know, not in OneDrive. Which this is what I'm about to say next about OneDrive, which is two things I found out. Number one, if I put anything on my desktop, it's automatically under the OneDrive file. I can't change that. I literally cannot change it. If there is a way, I haven't figured it out yet. So yeah, everything on my desktop is labeled under OneDrive, but I was eventually able to disable OneDrive in terms of it not uploading anymore, even though it actually still does the little check marks and stuff, which is annoying, but at least not actually uploading anymore, because that was another issue I came across. When I went to my email at one point, it literally came up and said, oh yes, you cannot send or receive any more emails. I'm like, what? I hardly use this thing. Emails don't take up that much space. There is no flippin' way that the emails could be full. It's impossible. I mean, literally, it's impossible. It's to explain the best way I can, which I don't know if this is the best example, but to kind of explain about emails, think of it like money, so to speak. The emails, each individual email is like worth a penny, okay? And like, say if your email alone, the entire thing itself could maybe hold $1 million, okay? And again, every email is a penny. And say if I only had, like, say, a couple hundred, or maybe like maybe 2,000, whatever. I'm just using dumb numbers here. Emails, it should not be full. There's no way. Actually, at first I was scared because I'm like, oh my god, this thing is gotten hacked or something, or there's some bug or something right off the bat. But no, I further looked into it, and then that's whenever I found out, oh, my OneDrive is connected to my email. What? Even though I deleted the stuff out of the OneDrive portion of my computer, this stuff was still in the online version. So I actually had to find out how in the world to access the idiotic OneDrive system on the internet, and then go in there and then manually delete all the stuff I put in my computer. Well, beforehand, not everything. I mean, just the stuff before I found out about the full size crap. And once I cleared that up, then it was actually at that point whenever I was able to finally disable OneDrive. So again, it's still on my computer, but it's just like, thank God it doesn't actually upload anymore. So yeah, that's kind of fixed. But it still is a problem, the fact that it's there. And I don't know what kind of moron thought it was okay to make the OneDrive be your main source for your computer. It doesn't make any sense, especially on the fact that it only holds like 5 gig of information. What? It just doesn't make any sense. So anyways, yeah, so that was eventually dealt with. So, but again, this is another problem. Alright, again, everything I'm listing off is another problem every single day. That I had spent hours troubleshooting this, hours troubleshooting that, hours fixing this, hours fixing that, blah, blah, blah. And again, I still haven't even scratched the surface yet, okay? So, and again, this is all Windows 11. I hate Windows 11 so much. Again, behind the scenes. If you have Windows 11 on the surface, you probably won't even notice any problems. But yeah, behind the scenes, behind the curtains, it's a complete disaster. But anyways, continuing on. Okay, let me check my list here. Where are we at? Okay, so next, let's get to the audio issues. Now, this part was an actual problem with the computer itself. Okay, with the actual computer I bought, which oh, that's what I didn't write down. I didn't write down the name of the drivers. Oops. Okay, well, I think it was Nehemic? No. I think? Yeah, Nehemic? No, I could be saying it wrong because I don't have it in front of me right now. I don't have the information in front of me. And yeah, when I was making this list, I knew I was forgetting to add something because I did think about adding it to the list, and I just completely forgot for my checklist here. I'm reading off of. But anyways, the computer has basically the crappiest audio I've ever heard across all my computers I've ever had. And I had to troubleshoot that, try to find out why in the world was the audio just complete trash. And I then found out about the audio drivers and whether you have them on or off, the audio is just trash. Actually, no, even having them on actually made things worse, believe it or not. So there was that, which actually note, I want to just put a little disclaimer in here. If you do happen to know what I'm trying to say, again, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Nehemic, something like that. I might even be saying it completely wrong. But if there's some chance you actually do know what I'm talking about, I do want to put a little disclaimer on the fact that even though they're trash for me, and they're trash for like 90% of people that have these drivers, these audio drivers, I want to say if it works for you, you know, if you're someone that has these particular drivers and they actually work, you know, for audio, then that's great. Okay, that's fine. All right, but it's just the 90% of us out there that have a bad experience with this. Yeah, I'm going to say they're trash. But again, if you don't feel they're trash, that's perfectly fine. Because, hey, I'm in the same boat with other things. Okay, I've used things that other people say is complete trash. And no, we're not even talking like opinion here. We're talking like literally like their system. Because, again, every computer is different. Every system's different. So what may work for one person may not work for another and vice versa. Okay, so like I said, I've had systems and stuff that have worked for me that everybody else says trash because it just doesn't work with their system because of how these system specs are. Okay, so yeah, again, with me saying something's trash, like in this case, these audio drivers here, don't try not to get offended by that. It was trash for me, but hey, like I said, again, if it works for you, that's great. It just did not work for me. So anyways, that was another thing I had to look into, which this actually took probably about a full, maybe week, to eventually get a solution, well, not a full solution, but a band-aid, so to speak, on this sound issue, where I actually had to do something I never thought I was going to do. And this next part is going to be controversial for people, because I know people are going to be for what I'm about to say, and there's going to be people against what I'm about to say. So whichever side of the fence you're on, it's totally fine. Okay, if you hate what I'm about to say, that's fine. If you like what I'm about to say, it's fine. So again, please do not try to say like, oh, for what I'm about to say. So, all this time I've known about, well, at least by name, about, of course, Chat GPT, which is essentially that AI system. Which, of course, yes, there's other programs out there. Okay, but Chat GPT is one of the AI systems that is out there right now. Okay. And I never looked into it. Never had any dealings with it. But whenever I was having all these problems and stuff, my one friend, he was, I was explaining some things to him about some issues here and there, and he uses ChatGPT, and he asked it a few things, and he copied and pasted over some of the answers and stuff, you know, to me as to what, like, potential fixes and stuff I could do with this and this and that and that. And anyways, when we were going through this, I asked him, wait, this Chat GPT, yeah, GPT. How about, you know what, for the sake of the video, let me just say Chat AI so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so again, if I say Chat AI, then I'm referring to Chat GPT. Okay, yeah. So anyways, I asked him a few questions such as, like, wait, do you have to pay for this? You know, like, how do you access this? You know, what explain to me what this is you know, how can I use it for myself? And he then sent me the link, and I looked into it thoroughly. I'm like, oh, okay, I could use this to help myself right now. Because, see, every time I've ever had a problem, no matter what it is, whether it's computer-related or console-related or just real-life-related, whatever, I've always been the one that's had to troubleshoot and fix every single problem that's come my way. No matter what it is, I've never had help. Well, I was getting to the edge here for all just again the mountain of problems I had to go through, and I needed some help, especially even with time here, because I'm trying to fix like all these different things all at once. I seriously needed help, because again I normally use Google for everything. I still use Google for mostly everything. Okay, but I literally had to get the help of Chat AI to help me out here. So I explained the situation to the AI system, and it, of course, you know, was able to help me troubleshoot and fix numerous audio issues from everything from actually showing me these two programs here, Equalizer APO and Piece Equalizer, which is actually a plugin to Equalizer. So in other words, what you would do is that you would install or download and install Equalizer APO on your computer, okay? Then I think you have to like reboot your computer or something after that. And then after that, you then go and download and install Piece Equalizer, which like I said is a plugin, which essentially that is like your user interface, so to speak. That's the thing that you use to manage the Equalizer program. Maybe confusing to other people, but if you know what it is, then hopefully it makes sense. But yeah, I had to download this stuff here, and eventually, which actually here, let me show you the Piece program, which this, now no, this is not the entire thing. I just screenshotted a portion of the Piece program. But this is essentially the majority of stuff you're going to be looking at with the Piece program. And even though I had an idea of all this stuff, but a very, very, very basic understanding, and I tried even Google and stuff, and just I would look through forums trying to understand, like, okay, what exactly is this? What exactly is this? And everyone's just saying the same thing: play with the settings. Play with the well, I played with the settings a lot, okay, and I couldn't get a straight answer as to what I should set everything to. All right. Well, it wasn't until I went back to Chat AI and then thoroughly explained the situation exactly, and I mean exactly what I wanted. 'Cause see, I did pull up some other it's like settings here, like, you know, put this slider here, put that slider there, you get it. But again, everything still wasn't what I specifically wanted. But again, it wasn't until I thoroughly explained to Chat AI, saying, okay, this is exactly what's going on, this is exactly what I need, yada yada yada. And then what you see on screen is exactly what it told me to do, and oh my god, it's literally the difference between night and day for my audio as to where it was to where it is now. Okay, now it still is not perfect, it still is not as great as it was on my old computer, but my gosh, it is so much closer now, and it took a massive stress off me, you know, trying to fix this whole sound issue and stuff. And I mean, that wasn't even everything. There was other stuff behind the scenes regarding the sound problems that I had to tweak and fix and yada yada yada. So again, the two programs that was just a part of it. So that again, I don't make this video a couple hours long. Just note there was more, but I'll just say that for right now, and they'll get the point across. That again, this was yet another issue, another thing I had to look into and fix, and just, oh my god. So anyways, continuing with, again, a small list of problems, which don't even come close to the massive list of problems. And look at this, we're already going 40 minutes, and I'm just, yeah, sorry. Anyways, so, oh yeah, so just to wrap up with Chat AI, yeah, so, yeah, whether you're for the AI system or whether you're against it, that is totally fine, okay? Me, I'm on the fence. I believe that it should only be used as a helping tool. I don't believe that it should completely replace jobs. I don't believe that it should be doing somebody's work that they can do themselves 100%, as in like an expert. Which actually, I'll use one brief example here, because I saw a report just recently here, which I'm still not entirely sure what it means. So no, the facts on this could be off. But I saw that supposedly the PS6, the PlayStation 6, is supposedly going to have AI technology in it regarding video games and stuff. And I'm not entirely sure I understand what it is. So again, what I'm about to say, don't think of it as fact. Just think of it as like just my viewpoint so far, because again, I don't have the facts yet. But what it seems like what's going to happen with the next PlayStation is that they want to have the AI basically how do I put this? Build the graphics in front of you itself. Which, God, this is going to be difficult to explain. Well, actually, no, I could explain it the one way I tried to explain it to my one friend, where essentially, again, this is what I'm believing. I don't have the facts yet, so please do not take this as fact. Just take this as a theory, if you will. Okay, yeah, so theory time. Yeah, that way I can just, yeah. So say, for example, in a game, okay, like, we'll use what you see on screen right now, which is like these crystals floating around in the front of us, okay? Now, in reality, as of right now in time, it was a game developer that created these two crystals and made them rotate like this, and you see the textures on them, you see how it is, and yada, yada, yada. Okay, now, with the AI system, if I'm understanding this correctly, well, even if it wasn't for the PS6 news, this would still be something that could happen in the future, where it would be an AI creating these crystals and stuff, and then basically make it so while you're playing the game, if AI was running the graphics, like say right now those crystals look fine, okay, but then say you turn off your game and turn it back on, or leave the area and go back, maybe these crystals might look deformed, they might look different, they might be, I don't know, they might not look how they're supposed to look, okay? To me, this whole AI system, what they want to do eventually in the future, supposedly, is basically make AI control this stuff. And it's like, no, I'm against that. I don't want AI controlling these kind of things. In other words, in this case, I want a game developer, a human, to actually put this together and make it so that, like, everything we're seeing on the screen right now, this is how it's supposed to be. And again, made by a human. All right, now, with the AI programs, like I said before, yes, I fully believe that they should be a helping tool to either help someone make something, but not take over, the job. Okay, and then same thing with, well, okay, that can be a little bit reversed with certain things. So, say if you have an artist, somebody who can definitely draw and draw beautiful pictures, I could maybe see if they had an AI just assist them, but not actually work on their work themselves. Just maybe try to help them. But no, I don't want to see the person who definitely 100% can draw use the thing to put out like millions of pictures they didn't draw themselves. However, on the flip side, and again, this is where it gets tricky because of all the how things are. Say someone like myself, who I can't draw worth crap, and I could try for the next 100 years and still never be able to draw past a stick figure. Someone like myself, I feel, yes, I could use the, say like AI to make a picture for me, but, and here's where the but comes in at, I would say like, okay, it would be okay for someone to use the AI to make the picture for themselves, but only as for personal use. Not for, to make money off of, okay? But again, that gets really, really, really fine. You gotta like really fine tune this stuff. So what I mean by that is like, say like myself, like I can't do picture editing to save my life, so to speak, and say if I need an AI program to assist me with like basically I created the like say I don't know like my. Here, I'll use a good example here. Like, my avatar picture on my YouTube, okay? You know it as it's got those like 6 games on it, 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom, okay? Now I put that together. Now note, it's not my pictures, okay? It's pictures I put together and of games, because this is a gaming channel, so I put those pictures of the games on there. But say if I would use AI to at least replace one of those pictures with another picture. Not an AI generated image, no, but just maybe edit that picture for me, since maybe like I don't have the original files anymore to recreate, to easily edit and recreate, other than creating the thing back, completely from scratch. Say if I wanted to replace one of the pictures with a different picture, then okay, since I'm not skilled in that, I can use AI to assist me, in this case, fix that, change that one image for me. But even though, yeah, I'm still the one who put it together, but it's just the AI is fixing something for me. That would be an example I can use in terms of where AI is okay to be used. So, yeah, again, the whole thing, it just depends on what we're looking at, and it's all case by case. But, yeah, whether you're on the fence where you love AI, hate it, you know what, it's totally fine, whichever side of the fence you're on. But me, like I said, I'm like literally in the middle. I believe it should be used for certain things, but at the same time, I believe it shouldn't be used for other things. So, yeah, again, if you're going to pay a game developer to make a game, it should be the game developer that's making the game, not sitting back and letting the AI make the game for the game developer. But yes, if the game developer wants assistance from the AI, but not to take over, just assistance, helping. Like in my case, on how I needed help with the sound issues, okay? I'm still, of course, the one who was, actually doing the stuff myself, but of course in this case I got assistance, like almost like as if I was talking to tech support, so to speak. Okay, yes, that is okay. So again, okay, anyways, that's gonna wrap up the AI thing, because I know a lot of people have their viewpoints and stuff and how they feel and yada yada, and I just want to put that out there. I know it's gonna be lost in this video instead of making a separate video for what I just said, but that's you hearing what I have to say about AI. And as for the evolution of AI, as in one last question here, do I believe it should advance more than what it is now? I would say case by case. Let's just say it that way for disclaimer purposes. Like again, actually I will use a brief example here. Chat GPT, it does have limitations. And I really wish we could go beyond those limitations. Okay, I wish it could evolve a little bit so we can get past those limitations, but yet I don't want to see, and I'm going to use just a dumb, funny example here so you can get a laugh out of it. I don't want to see any kind of Terminator scenarios going on here, or even, what was that new movie, Megan or whatever it was. I've never seen it, but I know that had to deal with AI as well. But yeah, I don't want to see anything like that. No. So let's put the brakes before we get to that point. But yes, let's have AI enough to be. Here, I'll use a great example. In Iron Man, if you know Iron Man from Marvel, you know how he has his AI partner, which is Jarvis, which actually originally was an actual butler originally, but then they switched it to AI, which yeah. Anyways, the point is that now if we had AI like that, that'd be fine, because it would be an assistant, it would be a helper, it would be well, actually in that case I think it was also like a friend almost. But yeah, that is okay. But beyond that, yeah, like I said, I don't want to see any Terminators. I don't want to see anything beyond that. So, yeah, hopefully that right there should really sum up my viewpoint on AI. So, yeah, but I will say I was a little scared at first whenever it first started happening, years back. I'm like, whoa, ho, ho. Let's slow down here, people. Let's not get to Terminator. So, yeah, anyways. Alright, so, moving on. Sorry for that taking so long, but again, I really wanted to talk about that, since I literally could not talk about that in any other video. So, yeah, it's like the only point I can actually talk about this stuff. Sorry. But anyways, again, also I just had to explain my viewpoints, since I had to use Chat GPT, or in this case, Chat AI, assist me with all this stuff. Because again, everything I've done so far, I'm still nowhere near done. But at least in terms of the majority of what I'm working on and doing and stuff, at least in terms to get back to recording, I'm pretty much set up to fully get back into it. But there's a little bit of a reason why I'm not able to just yet. We'll get more into that in a little bit here. Anyways, let's continue with my checklist here. / timeline. Let's see. Let's see. We talked about rebuilding OBS from the ground up. Oh yeah, so whenever I had to rebuild, actually, okay, this is another quick thing. Sorry, there was one other thing I needed the chat AI its help with, which was something that I didn't actually think of for some stupid reason. Well, I've never had this problem before, so I get. Anyways, let me explain. So when I was trying to run through tests and stuff with OBS, there was one day where, well, actually it was multiple days, but let's just say one day for right now. There was one day where I was running audio checks with Ross, you know, because I had to replug back in the way on how I can get Ross into OBS, and so you guys can hear him and yada yada yada. And anyways, when I was doing sound checks and all that stuff, for some odd reason I was hearing and kind of like an echo, but it wasn't an echo. It was like hearing Ross twice. All right. Now, normally, get this. Normally, when that happens, it's normally because like, oh, your mic is too high in gain, you know, or your computer or system is too high in audio. So, you know, basically the voice is going into the mic from, say, your computer or your TV or whatever. And it's going into the mic, so you're hearing it from both. In this case, Ross's the plugin where I'm pulling Ross's voice from, and my mic. Okay, now normally that would be the case. However, this time that wasn't the case, and this is where it became puzzling to me, because, like at first, yes, I thought it was the mic picking it up, but it actually kind of wasn't. In this case, it wasn't the hardware picking up; it was the software. And let me explain. So what happened was there was a point whenever we were testing this, and I turned down my audio on my mic pretty much all the way. All right. Yet, while the mic was still on, I could hear the double voice from Ross. But when my mic was off, I couldn't hear him anymore. All right. Now, some of you may already know the answer to this, but I didn't because I never ran into this before, where the in the computer sound settings themselves, deep in the settings. I do mean deep in the settings because trying to find things on Windows 11, my gosh, it takes forever to find things. Half the time I'm constantly using the search function at the bottom, you know, like just quickly type in control panel or quickly type in settings, quickly type in, you know, whatever, just to find this stuff fast because it's just, anyways, it's a jumbled mess. But anyways, the point is that to make a long story short, I had to eventually explain the situation to the AI system, and when it ran through a checklist of things I needed to do, there was, of course, some things I couldn't do. There were some things I already did check and stuff, but then there was one I spotted, and I'm like, wait, what? How? So what the problem was is that somehow Windows 11 was reading my mic as not only a communication device, but also a stereo device. And that confused me because it out of my past two computers, that never happened before. Okay? It's always just immediately read it as a communication device. I've never had it read as a stereo before. So I overlooked that when I was originally troubleshooting everything, because it's just, I mean, you know, like how is it supposed to be that way whenever it never happened before? It's just, but anyways, the point is that the AI system was able to say, hey, check and make sure it's not reading as a stereo, and sure enough, when I went deep into the settings, I found it turned on as a stereo. I'm like, excuse me? Why is this reading up as that? So anyways, yeah, that was fixed, and finally Ross's voice issue was fixed. You know, no longer hearing two Rosses at the same time. It's like, Wait, did he get a twin or something? He was talking in sync? No. So yeah, that was eventually fixed. Alright, so let's get back to the list here. Oh, another issue I came across, which actually this one really doesn't affect you guys too much, but it affected me in terms of setting everything up, which is my new computer has a brand new display I've never had before. I didn't even actually know this display ever existed, especially on the fact that this computer itself is actually a smaller size than my old computer. By 1 inch, but still. Even though it actually, in my case, actually worked out better. Because originally I wanted a larger computer, yeah, you know, in terms of physical size. But in the end, I got a smaller one, by, again, 1 inch. And I'm actually happy I did, because I looked at, let's just say, long story short, it works better for my, well, physical layout here. Let's just say it that way, overall. But anyways, the weird thing is, even though it's actually an inch smaller overall in terms of computer, and it is also a lighter computer, well, actually, no. No, actually, which one is heavier? You know what? I don't know offhand. But either way, it's slightly smaller. And the thing is that it has this new resolution display, which, like I said, I've never seen before, which is, note, bear with me here, 2560 by 16, or, well, you can say 1600, or I could just say it like this way, 2560 by 1600 in terms of the display resolution. And I've never seen that before, well, at least in terms of computers anyways. I've only ever seen up to basically your standard high definition 1080p screen, which is, what is that, 1920 by 1080p. Yeah. I'm used to that. I'm not used to this newest one, this 2560 by 1600. So let's just say I ran into some problems with that as well. And I can't quite fix that, but I've been able to easily find ways around this, which actually, it's not, like I said, it's not really an issue for you guys, because I did have to run some tests to make sure that the videos themselves, like even the one you're watching now, is not having like what I'm seeing on my end. But yeah, again, either way, it was just another thing I had to look into, because it scared me at first, because I basically like had like black bars top and bottom, a lot of these images and stuff. I mean, it wasn't like going over the picture. No, it was like screening certain things or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, I don't need my YouTube videos being widescreen. But like, no, yeah. Long story short, it's okay. And as for the individual problems I have, or sorry, in this case had, regarding the new resolution, I've found workarounds to get around the little issues I had. So yeah, moving on. Let's see. Oh, one little thing I want to point out real quick. And this is actually, we're going back a little bit here. Okay, I actually two things I want to point out really quick. Number one, whenever I got the computer back on, or well, no, when I got the computer and when I set up the computer was two different points. Let's say it this way. When I finally was able to set up the computer, which was, again, June 18th, was a Wednesday, and I had spent all night, many hours throughout the night and morning working on the computer, I made a slight little screw-up where, like, literally the next day, there was a comment that popped up on my channel saying, you know, please return, yada yada, and I just want to point out that I'm an idiot for replying, because I, at the time, when I had my new computer, thought, oh, hey, I'll be returning soon, because, see, any other computer, you know, normally you just get everything set up real quick and can resume recording, or sorry, resume all functions and stuff relatively soon after that. Well, yeah, due to all the problems I've come up against, and just lightly explain some of the problems on here in this video, very long video now. Yeah, I'm sorry for posting anything actually in this thread. No, what I should have said is that, just like what I said at the beginning of this video, I should have said, channel's not dead, I'll eventually be back. Okay, but it's just that I want to point out the fact that it wasn't my fault whenever I originally said that, oh yeah, I'll have an update video out soon. Yeah, because I literally, at the time of me posting that comment on the one video, I just didn't know about the mountain. The massive mountain of issues I was going to face between then and, well, right now as I'm recording this video, which, note, this video I'm recording should be, as long as I have no other issues here, should be going up Saturday, July 5th. Yeah, so it's actually where we're at right now. Yeah, I want to try to get this video out today. So yeah, it's just, this is like what, been over 2 weeks now of like almost non-stop just fixing, troubleshooting, this, that, blah, 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 blah. So yes, now anyway, so I wanted to point out that this whole time, it's not been a vacation, okay? So before anyone starts saying, oh, you just been taking a long break. No. Good gosh, no. This whole entire issue from this stuff, including also some other things I want to bring up here in a little bit, I've been massively stressed, massively depressed, just everything you name it. Even times where I've not gotten much sleep because I've been just so busy working on the computer, trying to get everything up and running and everything fixed and everything. I mean, still, I'm nowhere near done in terms of everything I have to do. But like I said, in terms of recording, yes, I could probably return right now, but there is brand new things that have just recently surfaced as to this whole me up. But I will say this. From starting this point right now, if I get any free time, I will try to do some recordings here and there, but take note, anything I get done, I'm just going to put on the back burner in terms of, in other words, it's just going to be put on my external hard drive for now, and once I'm fully ready to fully get back to posting videos consistently, okay, then I will upload, you know, everything, if anything, that I've been able to record since, you know, between now and then. And then, of course, you know, be back to fully recording and fully posting and so and so. Which, in this case, we need to finish up Genshin Impact Season 8, which the last episode was episode 53, which we're getting close to the end of the season, which now I need to really rush, because now we're really far behind schedule. And oh, speaking of other videos, I do want to put another little disclaimer, which I'll have to make sure I put in. Well, no, I will put in the description of the video for the Orcs Must Die 3 series, which is episode 14. At the end of the video, if you happen to watch the Orcs Must Die 3 series, it's like I said, it's gonna be a co-op series with Ross, which again, with that series, me and Ross are almost done recording. I think we only really need to record one more episode because we were pretty much done with everything. We were wrapping up things. But what happened was, while I was recording the episode, like I said before, my computer went black screen, and I was supposed to originally then finish what we were working on in that episode after I would, you know, shut down the computer and bring it back up. But let's just say, due to issues, too much time had passed, and we ran out of the time window that, you know, me and Ross could be working on the game, as he had to get off, and we had to basically end the episode of Orcs Must Die 3, episode 14. We had to basically end it without finishing what we were working on, which means we have to restart what we were working on. Just the whole mess is, well, the whole thing's a mess. But either way, the point is, if you watch that video, especially episode 14, you'll probably hear a part whenever I'm starting to freak out, saying, "Oh my God, the screen's black," you know. So, yeah, if you hear that, take note. That was in the past. That's not with the new computer. That's with the old computer. So, yeah, don't freak out thinking, "Oh God, now there's a new problem." No, that's with the old computer, and literally it happened at that point. So, yeah, and actually in this case, whenever my computer went black screen, I still had access to my second screen, which is the plugged-in monitor I have. I was able, which with enough struggling and fighting to try to pull my OBS from my screen that I couldn't see anymore over to my monitor, what I could see of the computer. It wasn't easy, which actually, there was one thing that saved me a little bit, which was a long time ago I had learned by accident about the fact that the spacebar on the computer is essentially a shortcut to play/pause your videos, which I don't use, but thanks to me learning that, I was eventually able to remember that during that whole point when I was freaking out and panicking. I was able to remember, like, oh my god, I gotta push the button, push the button, and then, boom, I was able to pause the recording, and then, like I said, after that, I'm fighting, trying to grab the OBS from a screen I can't physically see over to a screen I could see, and then, of course, I was able to resume recording enough just to say, hey, I gotta go, I gotta shut down the computer, blah, 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 so... Yeah, so that's what happened then. And actually, I'm probably going to most likely re-explain that little scenario there in episode 15 of Orcs Must Die 3. So yeah, if you're watching that series, you'll probably re-hear me say what I just said a little bit. Well, a little bit of what I just said. But, yeah, and actually, speaking of Orcs Must Die 3, I don't even know when me and Russ are going to get back to co-op recording. We have a lot of other stuff we're working on right now, and co-op recording is being put on hold yet again, which sucks. Because originally I wanted at least another co-op series we put up on my channel soon here, but that's not going to happen for a while. Especially on the fact now we're even held up even more with regular schedule. Because okay, so let me move over to the next topic, but still related, which is the game schedule. What we're supposed to be doing right now. Originally, if we didn't have any of these problems, we would have already been done with, as I said, Genshin Impact Season 8, episode... well, sorry, we were on episode 53. But yeah, Season 8. We were supposed to be done with Season 8 by now. And, now, normally I don't like saying video game names, but, for what's coming up, but I'm going to say because this is what we were supposed to originally go through. Originally, I was planning on doing the simulator game, Electrician Simulator. That was originally going to be next after Genshin Impact, which, note, it might still be. I'm planning on it, but you know what? Just, think that it's going to be next, but who knows? It should be. It should be. I don't see why it wouldn't be. And then, originally, in terms of the timeline, if we didn't have any of these problems, originally I was planning, which it still would have been... Or, sorry, was planning, but now it's no longer since we're past the date. Originally, I should say planned. Sorry, planned. I originally planned that we were going to try to start and finish Electrician Simulator before the game called Fruit Bus came out to PlayStation. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Fruit Bus before, but it's been on Steam for quite some time now, and I've known for the last couple months that it's finally coming to PlayStation. Well, no, I take it back. I've known since last year, 2024, that it was eventually going to come to PlayStation. But originally, when I heard about that from the devs, they made or I got the impression, let's say it this way, I got the impression that it wasn't going to be till like the end of 2025 or maybe the early of 2026. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a long time. But then back in, what was it, May? Yeah, May. I saw, surprisingly, on PlayStation's main YouTube, I saw the trailer for it. I'm like, what? It's coming out in June? Oh my god. So I was really, really, really trying to get to a point where we would have been able to finish Genshin Impact Season 8 and then also start and finish Electrician Simulator just in time for Fruit Bus, and then literally be able to start Fruit Bus pretty much day one. Which is something rare for my channel because I don't normally do that. But it's just that this one, I really wanted to get to it. And I thought, okay, this might actually work this time. Because the other games I've tried to do, they'll be released as buggy messes and stuff, okay? It's like, seriously, there has been games that I have fully planned on... Yeah, originally planned on doing day one on my channel. But then when they finally launch... nothing but complete broken, unfinished, buggy messes. And it's like, no, nope, 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 nope. I'm not doing it until it's fixed, you know, yada, yada. But yeah, in this one case, go figure, Fruit Bus was actually pretty solid. I'd never even heard any bugs of the game. So go figure, the one time that I could have actually, you know, done the game day one, and I couldn't because of this whole computer mess. So yeah. But anyways, so Fruit Bus was essentially supposed to be back in June. So yeah, by this point in July, we would have originally been, I'm guessing, maybe finishing up Fruit Bus by now. But yeah, now we're just sitting here with no videos. And this whole year, even last year, has been nothing but a mess for me. So many problems to where I've had massive what's the word I want? Points in time where just no videos being uploaded to my channel. And again, every time this happens, whether it's like back in the early part of 2025 / end of 2024, or even just recently here, every time this happens, it's not my fault. Certain things come up that are out of my control, and this time it was a computer. And this is why I'm making this very long video, trying to thoroughly explain this, so that anybody who actually is still listening to me, okay, if you actually are paying attention to what I'm saying, which again, I'm trying my best here. I'm sorry if I'm, you know, I'm trying to thoroughly explain at least one scenario, one case, okay? Because again, I can't explain the other cases. I can't go, because, you know, there's things called, you know, real life, personal information, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to go into that. But this is some stuff I can say, because I can say this, well, everything I've said in this video, I can say publicly. Okay? So this is why this is actually a good time I can finally say something regarding these messes that keep happening to me. But yeah, seriously, whenever I'm not posting videos, they're not vacations. They are not vacations at all. So please never think that, oh, I'm just taking some time off for myself. No, God, no. I've never had a vacation. So, no, actually, the last time I ever had anything relating to a vacation was back in 2010 when I went camping. That was it. That's literally it. So, yeah, I haven't had a vacation since then. An actual true vacation. So, anyways, yeah, so trust me, whenever I say that all these different times we've had these breaks on my channel, they are not by choice, and I truly, I wish that I never had any of these breaks. It tears me up inside, because I want to keep posting the videos. I want to keep the games going. We're getting more and more held up, you know, schedule-wise, to where I've had to scrap certain projects I was going to do, to change the schedule for this or that, or, well, of course, there's also, I've had to rearrange things, you know, also due to, like I was just saying before, about, you know, game bugs, you know, games being broken / buggy, yada, yada, yada. But here, I'll give it one example. Like, for example, originally I was supposed to do the Tomb Raider series back in 2024. That didn't happen, okay? Just to give a light example. And then I was actually then planning, okay, well, I'll try to get to a 2025. Well, so far that's not happening either, and we're already over halfway of this year. So, yeah, even though I'm actually I'm trying, because actually I'll give a brief example here. In terms of Tomb Raider, which the series we were going to do, well, in terms of the games we were going to do, which still will eventually happen, just don't know when. Okay, I wish it was already done already, but no, it will eventually happen. Which will include like the 6 games from the remastered collections, okay, that were just released on PlayStation the last couple years. It will include the 3 reboot games from Square Enix, and it will also include wait, what was the name of the? There was actually a PS2 port they did put on PlayStation. I can't remember which one it was, and I know I got it, but I just don't remember the name. But anyways, there was also another one, which was a co-op game back from PS4, which was, I believe, Temple of Osiris. Okay, this one I'm looking up because I actually want the actual name. Yes, Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris. Okay, that was originally on PS4. Me and Ross played it on PS5, which actually, yes, that was another co-op game me and Ross went through. So I actually have all the episodes. Oh no, that's got to load up the hard drive. I already have all the episodes of Temple of Osiris uploaded. Or not upload, am I saying upload? Recorded, sorry. I'm now tripping over my words again. Yeah, we have the episodes recorded. However, there is some slight issues. Number one, we had technical problems during that playthrough to where you don't really hear Ross at all throughout the whole playthrough. And I didn't know it because it was when we recorded that, it was right after the well, no, let me back up here. Let's just say settings were different than I'm used to at that time. Of course, since then, it's all been fixed. But due to technical problems, you don't really hear Ross at all, which you're supposed to, but you don't in that playthrough. And there was also another issue, technical problem, which is that we had no control of, which is in that game. If you try to run Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris on PS5, it has this weird line problem that goes across the screen, and that kept popping up over and over and over again throughout the entire playthrough. So take note, that's not the recording, and it's not your video player, it's not your computers or mobile devices or TVs or whatever it is you're watching it on. That's literally the game itself. And take note, I actually do explain that in the videos, okay? So I don't even know why I'm even saying it now, because I did thoroughly explain it in that playthrough. Because we looked into it and everything and just, oh, yeah. But either way, it's just that playthrough was plagued by technical issues, from issues with the game itself and, of course, tech issues in terms of voice, in terms of Ross. But... and actually note, that playthrough is only 4 episodes long, thankfully, because to me, it was a mess. And actually, me and Ross, we even talked it over, thinking, like, hey, what if we just go back and, re-record the game again? Just go back and redo it all over again. But then when we talked about, we just couldn't be, so we can get Ross's voice in there, but we couldn't because we just couldn't stand the line issue anymore. The technical problems with the actual game itself. So it was like, forget it. We're just not going to. And yeah, so there was that. The game is cursed. I'm saying cursed because it's cursed with. Anyways, sorry, bad joke. But anyways, the point is that playthrough is recorded, okay, but it's just sitting on my external hard drive right now because I'm waiting till we get to the Tomb Raider games. Okay, so. Yes, I was making an effort to try to, get to the Tomb Raider series, but that's all I've gotten done so far. It's just the one game. So take note that we haven't gotten to the Tomb Raider series out of just... But either way, bottom line is, it's just... It's always something, okay? There's always something. And of course, like this year... With me hardly getting that many videos in so far, and mostly this year, literally 2025, on my channel has only been Disney Dreamlight Valley and Genshin Impact so far for the whole year. And we're already over halfway done. I can't even begin to tell you how stressful that is. Yeah, so once we get back to Genshin Impact, I need to rush through the remaining part of the season. So, yeah. Okay, anyways, let's continue on, because I already just... branched off way too much there, and sorry. Let's see, where are we at on my list here? Okay, we're actually almost done with the list. Alright, so let's see, I covered that. Okay, so actually no, you know what? There's only just one more thing to talk about real quick here. Yeah, actually, I'm just double checking that. Okay, yeah. Alright, so in terms of... Now, I can't go into full details, and I'm not going to go into other details, because I don't think you want to hear the full details on this. But, to make a long story short, one of the biggest reasons why I can't completely return to recording right this very moment is because we have a new cat. Now, you may be questioning, what? What's that have to do with anything? So, again, to make a long story short, to sum up things, we were not ever going to have another new cat. Okay, we currently, well, before this recent stuff, we recently had just our latest 2 cats, and originally we decided we weren't going to have any more cats after our last 2, because it's just too hard with the whole goodbye process. And basically, if you've had pets and you've lost pets in the past, you know how that feels. And we've just, over the last 30 years, it just can't really deal with that anymore. So we originally decided no more animals, no more cats. Even though I love cats, I do, and you know. You can almost call us like a cat sanctuary around here. We just absolutely love our cats. But, just, yeah, like I said, we weren't going to have any more. But what happened was, this new cat found its way to our house and kept getting up on the roof of our porch, which it was able to easily access by a tree. And it just kept hanging around our area, and we eventually did give it food and water because it was during the heat wave, and oh my god, that was a mess. But anyways, a long story short there, we were eventually trying to find a home for the cat, and let's just say time was kind of running out because, again, with the heat wave, and then even just how the cat was, and also the fact there was another cat in the area that decided it came along and was causing this cat problems, and we had to get this cat out of there. So we made an appointment with the vet to get the cat shots and stuff, so that basically the day of the appointment, if we hadn't have found any, we'll say foster homes, if you will. If we hadn't have found anyone to take the cat, then we were going to take the cat. Because we had to rescue this cat. We just had to, somewhere or another, whether we took it or whether, you know, we could get somebody, which, note, in the end, at the last second, there was something popping up. I'm not going to go into specifics because, again, personal. But, let's just say a friend knew someone, and we could have had a chance to give the cat a foster home, but it was just too late. And yeah, so we got the cat to the vet. You know, she got her shots, yada yada yada, and then of course brought her home, cleaned her up, which I've never given a cat a bath before that. Before this last cat, and oh my god. If you've ever tried to give a cat a bath, well, hopefully you'll know what I kind of went through. Especially on the fact this cat had claws, so I really had to, like, wear heavy-duty gloves just so I wouldn't get torn to shreds trying to clean this cat up. And it wasn't a fun experience. Actually, it was the cat literally was practically having a heart attack. I mean, I don't mean that in a mean way, no. I mean, the cat was fine. I mean, we were, you know, being as gentle as we could with it, and yeah, but, you know, cats and water, they don't mix, so, yeah, there was that. But anyways, the point is, we brought the cat in, cleaned her up, and then had to come the, if I can put it like this way, the training process of, like, hey, this is where the litter is. That's where the food is. You don't go on this furniture, but you're allowed on that furniture. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, like, okay, hey, this chair, this couch, you're totally allowed to go on. This table, that furniture there, you're not allowed to go on. You know, so, stuff like that. And I remember there was even one night where I literally spent hours, and I was just babysitting the cat, trying to just teach the cat, like, okay, you know, no, yes, no, yes, no, you know, that kind of stuff. And now, thankfully, here's the weird thing, though. The cat was actually litter trained, surprisingly. So, yeah, this cat, we don't know what actually happened. We don't know if the cat ran away, because there was also that other cat out there. We don't know if they both ran away, or if they were just dropped off, as in the original owners just didn't want to have anything to do anymore with the two cats, because they both showed up around the same time. Well, the one shortly after, but still around the same time. So yeah, supposedly maybe there was a previous owner, but anyways, there was no collar, there was no chip, there was no nothing, no identification. So yeah, guess what? Cat's ours now. That's how it is. Besides, the original owner or owners, they didn't. I mean, obviously didn't take good care of the cat since the cat was out, you know, and or cats in this case. And you know what? We'll we'll give it a way better home than whoever the original people were. But anyways, point is that now we have... Oh, and actually the cat, just to give an idea of how old the cat is, the vet said they were able to gauge the cat was about 21 weeks old as to the time whenever we brought the cat in, and that was like about a week or two ago. So yeah, but anyways, okay, so anyways, continue on what I was going to say. The reason why right now I can't fully commit all my free time back to recording is because we're dealing with health issues with the cat. And this is where I'm not going to go into specifics, because I know some people don't want to hear this kind of stuff, but let's just keep it as nice as I can, that the cat has some issues, but it's okay. It's okay. The cat's getting medicine. The cat will eventually be fine, but it's going to take a while, and it's not pleasant, and we've gone through a lot of crap with this whole situation. So basically, to sum up this whole cat situation, she chose us. We didn't choose her, but you know, we're here ready to give that cat a you know, all the love and attention and just everything it needs. But the point is that the problems and stuff we've been having ever since, it's just not been pleasant. But it will get better. It will get better. This is not permanent issues. You know, these issues will get through. And let's just say, because of the certain medical issues, I can't devote full free time right now to recording, you know. I have to keep tending the cat and stuff. And then there's also the fact that real soon here, there's going to be an appointment coming up to get the cat spayed. So that's not going to be fun at all. I've never liked going through that, and I didn't want to have to go through that again, but we're going to have to. So that's next on the agenda, but that's still another week or two away. So like I said, any free time I can get, I will try to get videos uploaded. I mean, yes, if I can try to get enough. I know I said before that, you know, I'm not going to continue to post. No, yeah, I'm not going to resume posting until I'm fully back. But just... there's a massive button there. If I can get enough videos, like say, if I can at least finish off all the Genshin Impact videos before I'm able to fully get back, then sure, I'll upload the rest of the videos, and yeah, but I'll maybe make another update video whenever the time comes that I can fully be back to recording. Okay, so look at it that way. Like, if you start seeing videos pop up again, take note, I'm not fully back, but if you see an update video pop up, then hey, I'm fully back, you know. So we'll take it like that. That way it can be easy to understand, and yeah, actually we'll just say that. But anyways, yeah. So again, the latest issue is the cat. If it wasn't for the cat, then as of right now, yeah, I could have fully returned 100% to recording. So I just want to put that note out there that, you know, again, it's I'm trying to rock in a hard place. Like, come on. I'm trying. I'm really trying. But yeah, there's always something. That's the problem. There's always something. Okay. So again, I'm sorry that there's not been videos. I'm sorry that these last 2 years have been nothing but a wreck for my channel in terms of, like, say, these last 2 years versus the previous years. Again, if we lived in a world without problems, then my channel would have had a video every single day. So there's that. Oh, one thing I do want to note, I wanted to point this out. I didn't earlier because I just remembered it. I didn't put it in my list here. Which, note, this is regarding the AI issue. I know I wasn't going to return back to this, but I just remembered something. I do want to put a little disclaimer, massive disclaimer. I want to want to put a massive note on this, the fact that regarding AI, in terms of my channel, you will never, and I repeat, never see AI created / generated thumbnails like how you see with a lot of other channels nowadays. Okay, you won't see that. If you ever saw anything regarding a thumbnail that had to do anything with AI, would only, and I mean only, and again, this is a disclaimer, only if, like, I found, like, say if I'm trying to do a new game and I need the picture, the box cover art, so to speak, of the game, but with the logo. Okay, see, like, take note. If you look on my channel, there was a game I did many years ago called Area? No, I can't remember how you pronounce it, but it was spelled A-E-R-E-A. No. Oh god, I can't remember how it was spelled. Sorry. Either way, there was a game I did years back where the thumbnail is just the game, like, box cover art, but it doesn't have the name on it, because I was never able to get the name and the cover art together. And since, like I said before, I'm not into photo editing, I'm not into, I don't have Photoshop, I don't have all this stuff. The only thing I actually have access to is Paint. So everything I've ever done in the past is just using Paint. So, like, even whenever you see, like, an update video and it would just have, like, the one background screen and it would have some text on it, literally I use Paint to do that. Okay, I'm not a professional in that department. So what I'm getting at is, if I ever did anything with AI, it would, in regards to pictures, it would only be just simply adding, like, having the AI add the name to the picture. Okay, that would literally be the only thing I'd ever use in terms of the thumbnails and stuff regarding AI. But no, you will always see the actual game cover art for the game, whether it's something I can find on the internet, or whether I have to actually take the picture from whenever you first boot up the game and it throws up the image of the cover art and stuff. Even if I have to pull it from there, whatever. It'll always be that stuff. So I just, again, for anyone who's worrying, like, oh no, don't become one of these AI thumbnail generated channels. No, trust me, I'm not doing that. I won't. This channel will always be legit, stuff. It's just not going to be AI created stuff. And same thing goes with my voice. I'm never, ever going to use AI to voice my channel. Anything I say is coming from my own mouth, and that's it. And not even any other person, okay? Like, all my words, all my opinions, all my thoughts, they all come from me, myself, and no one else, okay? So, yeah, don't worry. No matter how advanced AI ever gets, I'm never using it to run this channel or do anything on this channel. It would only ever be used as just an assistant to help me in the background in terms of maybe some info or stuff like that, So I just want to put that out there in case anyone's wondering, because I know a lot of channels have switched over to AI, whether it's, as I said, the AI thumbnails, or people using AI for voices. And then what really ticks me off is the channels where they use AI for voice and then they lie in the comments and say, oh, they have an accent. And it's like, there's no accent there. Who are you trying to fool, buddy? So, yeah, I just, that ticks me off. I mean, actually, in terms of those channels, hey, if you're going to use AI as your voice, then just say it. Don't hide it. Just say it. Just be upfront with your community. Be upfront with your viewers. Don't lie to your viewers, Just, I don't understand people like that. I literally will never understand anyone who tries to keep lying to their viewers. Like, yeah, they have an AI voice, but then they don't want to say it. It's like, well, then what are you even here for, But anyways, yeah, regarding, like I said, with the AI with my voice, yeah, it's always going to be me and never any other human or any other, or it's not going to be any kind of AI of any kind of which actually, note, a while back when I was thinking on that, I was like, what would be a disclaimer? Because you know how I like to normally say disclaimers, but I was like, no, even if I lost my voice, then I'll either just go to no commentary videos or just not even do any. I would just have to give up YouTube at all if something happened to my voice. Okay, so let's just say it that way. So let's put that little note in there. If something ever happened to my voice, I still would not use the AI for my voice, okay? So if that can put any fears you may have, away, then okay, then, that... Wait, is that how you phrase it? I don't know. Well, whatever. If you had any fears of this channel ever going AI, no. God, no. No, and no. So... yeah, because that's why, I was explaining before, is I believe it should be used as a helping tool, as an assistant, but never to actually do the stuff for you. Okay, so yes, my channel will always remain just as you see it now. And like I said, anything that I would use the AI systems for would simply be, like I said, just an assistant behind the scenes. Nothing you would see. And, or, like I said, that one little rare, and I mean rare, super, super rare scenario where, if I can't find a picture of the game with the logo on it, I'll just at least use the AI just to merge the two together, and that is it. So, yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to put that out there. I really did, because I know a lot of channels are switching over, and don't worry. It's all good here. All right. Well, anyways, now that this video is getting near the 2-hour mark. Oh my god. It was never supposed to go this long, but I had a lot to talk about. And again, I still haven't even scratched the surface of everything. I just pulled up a list of, the stuff I can just talk about / publicly announce, yada, yada, yada. And there was just so much more behind the scenes of all the issues I've gone through, all the problems regarding, Windows 11 and... well, and then also, of course, even the one sound issue with the new computer. Oh, speaking of the new computer, it is a way more powerful computer than my old one. Okay, and that was another thing. Since I now knew what I was dealing with after my last computer, I knew what I need to improve when I would get a new computer. And my gosh, this new computer was definitely expensive. But yeah, I definitely got a more powerful computer, so hopefully things should be better now, at least on my end. It's all behind the scenes stuff, sadly. Sadly, I can't do anything in terms of what you guys can see, but it just, yeah, for the behind the scenes stuff, hopefully things should be a lot faster and a lot quicker and a lot better for me, on my ends with this new computer. So, yeah, which actually I haven't really been able to push this to the limit yet, because well, like I said, I haven't been recording. I haven't been doing this. I haven't been doing that. So I've just been busy with all this mess. So yeah, hopefully this video thoroughly explained everything as to why everything. All right, why everything I can think of off the top of my head right now. And like I said, there was just so much I even had to write it all down on a list next to me and just. Well, anyways, again, sorry for the super, super long video. It was never supposed to be this long, but yeah, I guess I will, essentially just, well, like I said, I'll record when I can, and I'll try to get back as soon as I can, and just, either way, you're gonna have to just wait a little bit longer, whether it's for new videos regarding Genshin Impact, or just getting fully back to this, full upload, every single day, yada, yada, yada. I'm just saying, please be a little more patient, and please understand that I'm trying as hard as I can over here. Because yeah, again, I haven't scratched the surface with everything. I'm sorry. All right, I need to shut up. I'm now just repeating myself. So yeah. Anyways, just. Oh yeah, see, normally the phrase would be, I'll see you when I see you, but actually no, it's more like the other way around. You'll see me when you see me, okay? So, yeah, next time you'll hear me is either new episodes of Genshin or the next update video. Which actually, note, the next update video, I might just do it text, so that I don't run into this scenario where I'm literally spending almost 2 hours on an update video. I might just, put up a quick text video, with some text saying, yes, we're fully coming back, blah, 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 and be done. You know, one screen, be done with it. You know, 15, 20-second video and be done. So maybe look forward to that. I mean, unless something has come up and then I have to talk. But as of right now, it might be that. Unless I just decide to screw it and just still make a quick short video saying, I'm coming back, and then just shut down the video. And just before I continue talking and do what I'm doing right now. So, yeah. Alright, well, either way. That's it for this video. So until next time, keep on gaming.